So, Wayne, this is not your usual ASBK Premier Class ride, is it?
No, it's not. It's Ovale Mini GP 160. Yeah, it's a new bike for here in Australia, a new class, and yeah, I'm super excited to obviously be a part of it, and super excited to hopefully see some champions in the future.
Yeah, so tell me about the program. I mean, you're racing in it, obviously.
No, I'm just out of the age bracket, a few years out, but no, look, it's for 10 to 14-year-olds. It's a 160cc bike, and Australia is one of 20 countries that will be participating next year, with the final being in Valencia at the last round of MotoGP.
So one of our little tackers, like mine, could go overseas and represent Australia.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll have a 5-round championship in Australia. With the winner, we'll take to Valencia for the last round of MotoGP, where they run Mini GP on the Thursday before, and hopefully, you know, we can get up there and get a strong result and see a future champion, like I said.
Why is it important that we have programs like this in Australia?
Well, like, you know, based on my experience and research, once you get to like 11, 12, those ages, you start to do sports that your mates do. So 10's a great age to get people that, you know, we might have seen a Mark Marquez or a Jack Miller that hasn't even ever ridden a motorbike. They've played another sport. So it's important to get those people started and get them into motorbikes.
Speaking of 3-time ASBK champ, how are you feeling about the fact that you could enter that rare, elusive club this weekend and walk behind that velvet rope?
I haven't really thought about it too much, so I'm just going to go. I'll just try the same as last year. It was a great experience last year. Like, I spent so many times at home rocking in the corner thinking, oh, they're all riding, I'm not riding. But yeah, and then to come out and be able to win the way we did, and then yeah, here's the same approach, a little bit less pressure this year, and yeah, it's very exciting for me. It's way exceeded my dreams from when I was a little kid to be able to achieve what I have out of the sport.
And what is it going to take to make you go around again next year?
A fair bit of persuasion on Sunday night might get me over the line, but no, look, I haven't really thought about that. I said I'd make a decision. You know, I've got a foot in either court. It's not a definite no, but it's far from a definite yes.
Okay, interesting. So watch this space. Well, Wayne, thank you so much for taking us through this program. I can't wait to see how the kids go next year.
Likewise, I look forward to having you have a ride on it, Kate.
Well, welcome back to the Bend. First up, we've got the Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup. We've just seen the Alpine stars, Superbike stars, the men with the most experience in this field. Now we go to the opposite end of the spectrum, the riders with the least amount of experience in the field, but certainly future stars of tomorrow. Brax, good to see you back in the commentary box, and good to see the young fellas back out on track.
What I've been saying all weekend, Phil, we've just seen the Masters, now we've seen the Apprentices.
Cameron Swain took the championship with 2 races to go, and he will start from pole position. Ryan Larkin's won a race this weekend. He'll start out a second, and Harrison Watts will start out a third. Levi Russo, Hudson Thompson, and Hayden Nelson on the second row of the grid.
Third row of the grid, we've got Nate O'Neill, Sam Drain, and Terran Fleming in his first race as a wild card. And then we've got Jack Favell, Matt Hammond, and then Varis Fleming, the older brother of the two, in 12th position.
Varis Fleming's had a good weekend on the Supersport 300 machine, but he won't like the fact that his brother is starting ahead of him on the Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup machine. Valentino Nezovic, Cameron Rendy, the local South Australian, out of position number 14, and Ricky Henry round out row 5.
Then there's Page, Hunt, and Moody in position 16, 17, and 18.
Right, so we're getting ready for a start. The final Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup race for the season.
And Hudson Thompson missing from the second row of the grid in position number 5 after his little off-track excursion earlier in the day.
Ready for a start. Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup is go. They're a lot slower off the line than the Superbikes, Braxy, but the battle is just as intense as they make their way down towards turn 1 for the first time. There's plenty of opportunity to slipstream on the way down there as well, as we look to see who's going to get the nod. Here comes Cameron Swain on 26, making his way through the field. But going up the inside is bike number 14, Harrison Watts, that looked like he might tip into the lead. No, around the outside, I think that may have been Ryan Larkin on board bike number 68. It was that takes the lead as we look back through the field now to see where the rest of the riders are coming through. And they're all through the first couple of turns safely. That's good news.
Well, yeah, wherever there's a bit of bitumen just then, it seemed to be there was a motorcycle on it. It's, they're having their swan song for 2021 in their Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup over 5 laps. 5 laps around here on these little machines takes a long time, so they've got a lot of time to think about racecraft and what they're going to do. But already Larkin, he's got the hammer down to pull out a lead of about 6 or 7 bike lengths as they go into the Alpine Stars hairpin for the first time. And then we've got Harrison Watts almost a second behind. Cameron Swain, our recently crowned champion, in third. Nate O'Neill, Hayden Nelson, Levi Russo, the top five. And they're just starting to get a bit of a rhythm going after this. They've been waiting around all day for race number 3 from having won this morning. And a lot of these guys will be packing up very quickly and heading back to try and get back to school very soon, I presume.
I'm sure they're not in any rush to get back to school,
No,
Braxy,
true.
as we make our way down through Dane's Corner now. It is Ryan Larkin, victor in the first race yesterday afternoon, and Cameron Swain, victor in the race this morning, that are now going head-to-head, elbow to elbow as they make their way up towards the Dunlop corner, and then over the rise and then down through this very tricky and technical second part of the circuit. The third sector has been the one that's caught many people out this weekend.
Was that Levi Russo going up the inside of Sam Drain in that approach to turn 13, back in the battle for 7th, 8th and 9th? And it looks like, not careful, we'll have an 18-bike freight train like we did in the Supersport 300 that was presented by Dunlop.
Yeah, I saw one rider running very wide. I think it may have been either Brodie Page or Toby James as they came out of the Dane's Corner and down the Dunlop back straight. But it is Cameron Swain back to the lead with the bright yellow helmet. Of course, all of these riders wearing the same Recondi leathers, AGV helmets, TCX boots, all running on the same Pirelli tyres, and of course, all riding Yamaha's R125 machine that I believe is getting an upgrade for next year too, Braxy. So they'll be just a little bit faster and a little bit more race-like.
Oh, that's good to hear, because that won't get any knocks on the head from the competitors. They'll be going, yeah, we'd love a few more horsepower to add to the 17 we've got under us at the moment.
They might get 18.
It'll be interesting with Trevor Manley and the rest of the lads there that spanner the machines are preparing between each race. But Ryan Larkin up the inside having a good look, but it was Nate O'Neill as well. But Cameron Swain got off the picks and rolled it through turn 1, up through Pirelli turn 2 and into turn 3 as they start to come back up over the hill and through this fast right-hander, the turn number 4 before the fastest corner on the straight at turn number 5 before the dive down the hill. Look at them, there's 5 of them there all line abreast, and we've got bike number 13, Marcus Hamode there in 6, trying to bridge the gap to these guys. As look at them, 3 abreast that funnel themselves. Oh, who was that up the inside then? That was very quick work there. So now they start, that was Nate O'Neill that came through there from 3rd into 1st position. But Ryan Larkin going around the outside. I think he might have been looking at a bit of Glenn Nelson's moves from the Supersport 300 and the R3 Cup. That seemed to be Glenn Nelson's favourite passing opportunity on the track.
I'll tell you what though, young Nate O'Neill on board bike number 65. It's been a pretty impressive debut for him this year in the class. To be running so far up the front of this very impressive field with such limited experience on these bikes. So he has been doing a lot of riding in Queensland on the little bikes as well around Morgan Park Raceway, so putting on a strong performance here this weekend. We were talking though also too about the Carter Thompson and Hudson Thompson, how they hadn't had the weekend that they would have liked. Some consolation is that Hudson Thompson set a new lap record in race number 2. So the benchmark that these riders are trying to get to is now at 2:34.794. He took 0.6 of a second out of the previous lap record held by our champion, Cameron Swain.
Look at this now. It has they have closed up. So I think there we look at bike number 13. Marcus Hamod there is back there in 7th position. He's
another rider that's having his first year in the championship as well, and also doing the Supersport 300 class. But he would also be one of the biggest riders in this group of riders as well. So good job, Marcus.
Yeah, great to see. They're all having a good dip as we're on our 3rd lap. So that first standing lap was a 34.866, just ever so slightly off Hudson Thompson's new lap record set earlier today with a 34.794.
Yeah, so they're cracking along because that lap is well and truly under the old lap record set by Cameron Swain. And it was Harrison Watts that did that lap. But look at them all, Braxy, in the 2:35s. Except for that 2:34 for Harrison Watts, all the way back to 7th position.
Yeah, now Cameron Swain having a look up the inside of Ryan Larkin side by side as they start to come up to turn 13, Dunlop corner. Up the rise again, using the camber of the road to hold the front. And who was that down? Just we'll wait till we see a number before we just confirm who that is. Just seeing who's going to drop through down the leaderboard on the CompuTime.
I think it might be Marcus Hamod on board bike number 13.
Yep, he's gone. Yep. which is very unfortunate for the youngster.
And was putting in a great ride in the end of his first season of OJC Blue Crew Oceania Cup riding.
Won't call it the commentator's curse, we'll call it the Phil Harlem curse.
Well, we just give him a rap, and then unfortunately he's crashed out. But still, I'm pretty sure that he'll be happy with his season. He's learned a lot and had a great time doing it. But it's Cameron Swain, the man that had the most fun, that currently leads this race.
Yeah, and he wanted to win at least one race. He just missed out this morning when that race was stopped. He came second yesterday, enough to win the championship. He'll be moving on to England next year. They did break through when they went back. I'm just remember what they were like when they crossed the line.
Yeah, like a swarm of bees.
Yeah.
No one knew who had won, not even the riders.
Exactly, and he won that by 0.0 for what was it, the 0.058 of a second, with 7 of them separated by 0.883 of a second.
So we're on lap 4 now, 3 laps complete. So the penultimate tour for the Blue Crew riders, this season finale. You can see here, this is the replay from AMX Superstores of Marcus's crash. Yep, looks like he just lost the front on the way out of I think that was Dunlop corner heading towards AGV. Ryan Larkin continues to lead just ahead of Hayden Nelson and bike number 26, Cameron Swain, our champion.
And Tieran will be taking part all next year as well after a wildcard entry. And we're even getting a young girl from Western Australia coming across for the Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup for next year.
Well, that's good news, because it's not just about the boys always racing, is it? And we've seen some very fast girls in the championship over the years. And this weekend, unfortunately, one of the fastest girls on a Supersport 300 had mechanical gremlins that pretty much thwarted her attempt to show her real talent this weekend in Laura Brown.
Yeah, it's very disappointing, because she is a very hard charger, and she's often been battling up the front of the field, and it was most unusual not to see her up there, at least in the top 10.
Now, Ryan Larkin has managed to somehow open up a 0.8 of a second lead over the rest of the field as he gets the last lap board. So could be on track to take his second win of the weekend. He's got to keep it clean and stay out of trouble, but the riders behind are using the slipstream to pull themselves right up behind, and it is bike number 14, Harrison Watts, that's moved now up into second position.
That lead is going to evaporate pretty quickly, I'd say.
Especially if those riders behind, because they can use slipstream at all places around this circuit, can't they, Braxy? Especially where they're heading now. They come out of this corner here, then they head up through the very fast MA corner that is almost like a straight with a bit of a kink in it.
Yeah, fastest corner on the straight, Dave. Johnson told me early on today, 3 abreast through turn number 5. Almost 4 abreast, and up the inside comes bike number 65, Nate O'Neill, trying to have a look as they dive under brakes going into the downhill turn 6 left-hander. They're hairpin, and it was just a bit of a squeeze there. I thought there was a couple that were quite close together, but Ryan Larkin has just destroyed my theory that he's cleared out again now to be a second in front of these following 5 riders.
This has been a fantastic last lap so far for Ryan Larkin as the rest of the field comes through Yamaha corner, right over on the right-hand side of the tyre for this long period of time. It is still Hayden Nelson in second, Cameron Swain in third. Look at the corner speed of Harrison Watts on board bike number 14. He just couldn't quite get up the inside, couldn't get close enough to Cameron Swain to get up the inside as they come out now down the back straight for the final time. It is still Ryan Larkin on 68 that leads, but look at them closing in as they utilise the slipstream Braxy. They're getting closer every time as they come up towards Dunlop corner. This is now a 5-bike battle for the lead.
Yeah, so it's gone from over a second lead, and now he's been back into the clutches of Swain, Nelson, Watson, O'Neill.
Well, it's all going to come down to My Bike Motorcycle Insurance corner on this last lap as we come down through Ducati now. We'll turn left and then right up over the crest and then down into turn 17. It's been the place where championships have been decided. We saw the Supersport Championship on the line coming down this hill.
Here comes Cameron Swain. Is he going to make a move up the inside? He's going to grab... Hayden Nelson might have come along too, but sweeping across the front of him, Ryan Larkin. What a great racing move that. Who's down there?
That's 65, that's Nate O'Neill. Unfortunately, he's out of the equation now, just going down on the exit of My Bike Motorcycle Insurance corner, but it is Ryan Larkin on board bike number 68 that will take the checkered flag. A fantastic win, his second of the weekend. Cameron Swain will round out his season, his championship winning season, with second place, and in third place should be Hayden Nelson, with Harrison Watts taking fourth, and Levi Russo will move up to 5th place.
Wow, that's a pretty dramatic finish. And who said you can't high side a little 17 horsepower 150cc machine?
So Levi Russo takes 5th place ahead of Tieran Fleming, Ricky Henry in 7th, Valentino Nezovic in 8th position, Varis Fleming in 8th, and Brodie Page rounds out that top 10. There was 0.6 of a second separated 6th from 10th position. So a great battle going on for those positions right behind our lead group as well.
Yep, as usual, and Ryan Larkin second in the championship behind Cameron Swain. A pretty 56-point lead to Cameron Swain at the end as we look on screen at the results. Hayden Nelson in second, and a bit of 1.1 second lead to Ryan Larkin. That's almost unheard of in this form of racing, Phil.
Yeah, it certainly is, and as we said, taking the win by 1.1 seconds. That's, I think, the first time this weekend we've actually seen that, because all of the rest of the winning margins have been less than a second. Remember, only a couple of years ago, someone won all 3 races by less than 1 second. And as we said, he came into this round, Braxy, in 4th place in the championship, but he was only 2 points behind Nate O'Neill and 1 point ahead of Riley Nuada, and Hudson Thompson was on 80 points, so 6 points separated 3rd back to 6th position in the championship. So a good weekend for them means that Ryan Larkin finishes 2nd in the championship and Levi Russo finishes 3rd.
And great sportsmanship there in Parc Ferme as they got off the bikes as well.
Harrison Watts finishes in 4th place, equal on points with Nate O'Neill. Hayden Nelson in 6th, Varis Fleming in 7th, Hudson Thompson, his first year in the championship, good result for him in 8th place. Riley Nuata and Marcus Hamod, also first year in the championship, finishes inside the top 10. Anyway, let's go down to KP. She's at the AMX Superstores podium with our top 3.
Exactly, the Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup, and I've got Hayden Nelson, who came in P3. There were some pretty excellent battles out there, my friend. A good way to end the year.
Yeah, very interesting racing this weekend. Big circuit on small bikes, but it's been plenty of fun. Good battles, and yeah, very good way to end the year. I'm happy with my year, so awesome.
Good work. You can go and enjoy Christmas now.
Yeah, have a bit of a break, but still stay on the bike. Got to keep your hand in the game, so.
Yeah, you know it. That's it. But remember to have fun.
Always.
Always, always. Excellent. Cameron Swain, come on up. This is your favourite spot now, right? El Champo?
Yeah, I've been here a few times, but yeah, that race was just crazy. Like halfway through, I got a bit mixed up in the pack, and then Ryan got away, and then on that last lap, had to try and pull it back, and then had to try the second last corner, but then almost had a stack, and Ryan got the win. But congratulations to him. But I'd just like to thank, Trevor Manley this year gave me a lot of help with my suspension. Without him, I wouldn't be getting the results I am. I'd just like to thank Pirelli, Recondi, Motul, Yamaha, just all the sponsors that help out the Oceania Junior Cup. Thanks.
Excellent work, Cameron. Well done. A really great year for you. And Ryan Larkin, come on up. Oh, fantastic way to end the year. Your 2nd win of the weekend. You are just smiling from ear to ear. It's great to see.
Oh, yeah, that was a ripper of a race. It was just, I just love doing what I'm doing, and I just love it. Like the adrenaline, and like we had a ripper of a race this just before, and I just pulled through and just kept it together, focused, and just did it.
Oh, such mature words. Good for you. Well done. You can go and celebrate now with the chocolate milk, I reckon.
Yeah, just pour a wine glass or something. Yep.
Yeah, maybe in a few years, mate. All right, well done, boys. Congratulations. A great way to finish the year for the Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup. Back up to you, Phil and Braxy.
Thanks, KP. Great work from those young fellas, and there's always a couple of characters in there, isn't there, Braxy? Great to see. There's plenty more to come. Back shortly to the Bend Motorsport Park. Welcome back to the Bend Motorsport Park. The riders have just left the grid on the first lap of the Dunlop Supersport 300 class. This is the 2021 My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championships presented by Motul, and the Supersport 300 title is on the line. Ben Baker has come into this race with a 31-point lead over Zach Johnson, who was one of the stars of race 2 earlier on this morning. But the star of the show so far has been Glenn Nelson, because he took 2 race wins this morning in both the R3 Cup and Supersport 300 class, and he now leads this race. Steve on board bike number 39. But Archie McDonald won yesterday's race, and he wants to make it 2 for the weekend in this final race of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. You can just see those 2 guys at the front of the pack there with it all to play for, with Angus Grenfell just behind him. He's another hard charge hard charge. Keep an eye on him. 72 in 4th position at the moment. That's Ben Baker. He's got the most to lose. He's riding around here for the championship. He fell off earlier this morning. He's still got a decent points gap, but boy, the pressure must be on his shoulders.
The man that sits second in the championship is Zach Johnson on board bike number 22, only 2 places behind championship leader Ben Baker on the 72 machine. So it's 72 v 22 for the championship. Also, do not discount Reece Orchard on bike number 121. He's 3rd place in the championship and was a very strong finisher, a podium place in the race this morning.
Reece Orchard not very good at starting back down there in 13th, but I'll tell you what, he's good at coming through the pack. So towards the end of this race, another 3 or 4 laps, expect to see him up the front on his yellow bike.
So Archie McDonald leads them out onto the start-finish straight for the first time. You can see plenty of different varied lines here because no one wants to offer up any slipstreams to anyone else, but McDonald's taken the long way and Glenn Nelson's taken the shortest way, and he goes into the lead. Here comes Baker on board 72 machine up the inside, trying to get down into that race lead. Archie McDonald's right out on the ripple strip, but it's Glenn Nelson who's got the biggest set of rotors down in towards turn 1. And it looks like James Jacobs is also charging through the field, along with Joe Marinello, who have moved up inside the top 10.
Zach Johnson's there as well, the other protagonist in the championship, sits seconds. He's on the red bike just there at the back of your screen, sitting in about 6th place at the moment.
So it is still Nelson that leads from Archie McDonald and Angus Grenfell. Angus Grenfell yesterday had a very exciting last 2 laps. He was off into the grass. He overtook about 17 people and still managed to finish in 6th position.
You've got to be, I mean, this class is crazy. That particular corner there, as you head into the Alpine Stars corner, there's so many different lines in it, on this track that you think you're on the inside, but then there's someone going up the inside of you and someone going up the inside of them. So you sort of got to enter wide to get the drive out, but there's plenty of overtaking opportunities there, so we'll keep an eye on that spot.
Glenn Nelson has also been extremely fast through that area of the circuit, overtaking in places where I haven't seen anyone else overtake so far this weekend, Steve. So he's obviously got a lot of confidence in the front end of bike number 39 as they make their way up the short back straight now and into this corner that this morning claimed race leader in race number 2, Carter Thompson, who I believe has got a suspected broken wrist and collarbone, but his good news is he's A-OK and he'll be ready to come back and race motorbikes hopefully very soon.
Yeah, well, that's our best wishes to Carter Thompson because he was definitely leading the pack at that point in time. But anyway, good on you, Carter. We hope to see you soon, like Phil says. Back out front, though, Glenn Nelson, yeah, his confidence is high, but he's not going to have it all his own way because, once again, Archie McDonald, another young man on a mission, has come through. Angus Grenfell, Tom Drain, as well as making his way forward on the number 59 machine.
Yeah, look who's looming up into 5th position now. It is Zach Johnson on board bike number 22, the Johnson Racing Machine. One of the very few Kawasaki ninjas at the front of this field because the field is dominated by the Yamaha R3. Glenn Nelson looking like he's got into the lead. It's hard to tell when they go out onto different angles on the straight because there's just so many different lines coming down into turn 1. Here they are, 5 abreast into turn 1, and it is Tom Drain. Zach Johnson takes the lead. Zach Johnson on 22 takes the lead. Drain has slipped from 2nd back to 3rd. Archie McDonald trying to go around the inside and push him back one further position. He does. So Archie McDonald up into 3rd now. Coming around the outside with a lot of corner speed is Angus Grenfell.
Ben Baker there too, the man that needs to stay out of trouble. It's very difficult to stay out of trouble in a pack like this, but you can see him there on the number 72 machine. He's back in about 6th position at the moment. He can't afford to take it too easy because he'll end up getting himself into trouble. But you can just see here, 3 abreast heading in there. Zach Johnson dives up the inside with Glenn Nelson just running wide, but pulls it back in. Zach Johnson takes the lead there, but Glenn Nelson makes his way back through by diving up the inside there. Plenty of different lines on these 300s.
Last race of the season for the Dunlop Supersport 300s, and everyone wants to go out on a high, Steve. That's why we've got a massive lead pack that contains pretty much the top 14 or 15 racing. There would be 14 riders with Teo Aksu at the back of that group on board bike number 91, all covered by about 2 seconds as they make their way through this very fast area of the circuit.
Varys Fleming's up there as well. Varys is in 8th position at the moment with Ben Baker just in front of him.
As we said in your track preview this morning, Steve, the run into that Danes corner is extremely fast. Then you've got to get the bike stopped and turned and go along this little back straight. And then it's a massive elevation change through these next couple of corners.
It is, and this is the part of the track where you've got to be most careful because it is very, very bumpy into this part of the circuit here. And as we've already seen this weekend, it's pretty easy to lose the front if you get in there too tight and too hot. So you really got to be careful into there. It sort of sucks you in and goads you in that corner.
through the little roller coaster section and down the hill into My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Corner. It is still Tom Drain on 59 that leads from Jacobs on 16. Then it is going up the inside. I think that was Glenn Nelson getting the better of Zach Johnson. Zach Johnson tries to come around the outside. Angus Grenfell manages to, Archie McDonald manages to shoehorn himself onto the inside there and now sits in the slipstream of Zach Johnson's machine as they make their way down the straight.
And there's Benny Baker at the back of that group once again. I mean, trying to stay out of trouble, but how do you stay out of trouble in a group like this? It's pretty hard because, I mean, these guys are frenetic, spread out all over. There he is, the number 72 machine, just obviously riding under a little bit of pressure to wrap up that championship in this race.
So Baker currently on the live championship score sits on 168 points. So that would be 22 points ahead, 24 points ahead of Zach Reese Orchard because he's moved up in the championship as well. Just having a look at where Zach Johnson is at 151. So it's only 17 points back to Johnson on second place in the championship at the moment. So Ben Baker needs to make sure that he actually just finishes this race.
Yeah, and that is easier said than done, as he found out in the race earlier on today. But nevertheless, James Jacobs leads his first 300 Supersport race now, and he'd be pretty happy with that. That's got to give him a lot of confidence for the future for sure. Tom Drain behind him, just sitting in that slipstream there through that fast part of the circuit, through the Yamaha Financial Services right-hand bends and into Dainese.
Glenn Wilson again through that, Glenn Nelson again through that corner is so fast and he manages to carry a lot of corner speed. He did several overtaking manoeuvres in the race this morning and he started it again towards the back half of this race as well as he tries now to go up the inside of Jacobs and he does it through Dunlop corner and up the rise. It is back to Glenn Nelson leading this race.
Yeah, he's got so much confidence in the front, has Nelson. He really does know how to stuff it in there and keep his line on the way out. He keeps that knee on and that extra lean angle for a little bit longer, which helps him exit the corners tighter.
You could say he's not giving him the half Nelson, he's giving him the full Nelson as they make their way down the hill now into My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Corner. Trying to go up the inside was bike number 69 of Archie McDonald, but Archie couldn't quite get through the very late braking Nelson. And Nelson also too, as we've said, he's taken 2 race victories so far this morning. He's wearing the Jack Miller AGV replica helmet in front of someone who is obviously very high on his heroes list.
Well, absolutely, yeah. I mean, if you're going to wear someone's hero helmet, that's the one to wear this weekend for sure. And it's certainly working for him. Perhaps give him a little bit extra. Maybe he might get a signature on it after the race. But he's won 2 races already, and he's looking for his 3rd.
Tom Drain wants to have something to say about that as he takes the lead down into turn 1. We are now on the 6th lap of this 7-lap race, and Drain leads from Nelson. Bit of biffing and barging there from McDonald and Jones. As Ben Baker has moved up now into 5th position. Remember, all he has to do is finish this race amongst the top riders, and he will be crowned Dunlop Supersport 300 champion for 2021.
And he's starting to get amongst it now, isn't he? He's put the pin down. He's up into that top 5 positions now, Benny Baker. So it's really good to see that he's trying to make a run for the front. He's stayed out of trouble, but it looks like now he wants to go for it. As long as he's in front of Zach Johnson, he's won this.
He's just ahead of Zach Johnson. In fact, he's got Archie McDonald between himself and Zach Johnson, and the man that's 3rd in the championship, Reese Orchard, has now moved up right behind them as well. So there's Johnson and Grenfell with the next rider through, bike number 121, Reese Orchard.
Yeah, and once again, Orchard, we haven't mentioned his name since the start of the race.
No! That's there was that went down. It was one of the red machines. It could have been Johnson. On board bike number 22, that could put 2nd place in the championship at risk.
That was Johnson that went down. That was Zachary Johnson that went down for sure. And that's a big help to Reese Orchard, isn't it? Let's have a look at what's happened here. They've all got held up. He's held the corner speed. Nothing he could do about it. Just lock the front, but to stop himself from running into the back of the guy in front. He ran into him. Looks like he's up and okay, but bang, all over there. It's getting pretty close at the front now.
There's hands waving everywhere. Back in the field, James Jacobs was waving his hands around there, and he's trying to go around the outside of Archie McDonald with Baker right behind them. There's Reese Orchard too. He's just been, Cameron Dunga has just slid up the inside, and then someone went up the inside of him. Exactly what you said before, Steve.
Yeah, look at that. There's 6 or 7 lines into there in this Dunlop Supersport 300 class, that's for sure. But nevertheless, these guys are absolutely going for it there on the last lap. James Jacobs in the action as well. Good to see him there. This is his best ride that we've seen in quite a long time. Angus Grenfell's up there. Benny Baker now, I doubt that he would know where Zach Johnson is, but literally he's just got to finish this race, but he's looking at knocking on podium position is Ben Baker, and what a better way to win the championship than to stand on the podium at the same time. I'm sure that's on his mind now.
Heading into the final sector, it is Nelson who was leading, but up the inside, it's Archie McDonald on 69. Tom Drain is just right behind that two leaders at the moment in third place, trying to come up the inside, can't quite do it. McDonald goes round the outside. Glenn Nelson tried to hold the tight line, couldn't quite get past, but now he does through the Ducati corner. There's only 2 corners to go. Once they head across this rise and down into Motorcycle Insurance corner, it is Nelson leading from McDonald. Then it's Drain and Benny Baker coming down the inside as well.
And Angus Grenfell on the outside, but you can just see the front of Archibald's bike moving around. He's holding on. It's going to be a big slipstream over the line, but it looks like it's Glenn Nelson holding it at the front with Archie McDonald behind him. It's going to come down to the slipstream. Can he do it?
Angus Grenfell in the chase as well as they all fan out now to try and get across the line. Looks like it's going to be Archie that takes the win from Glenn Nelson. They nearly crashed into each other as they went across the line, all looking around to see who had done it. And Tom Drain takes third place, Angus Grenfell fourth, and Ben Baker finishes in fifth place, and that will win him the Dunlop Supersport 300 Championship for 2021.
What a great race. That was super, super exciting as the next group come over the line. A bit of a battle between those guys. It was good to see, but all the action. There's your champion, number 72. Great stuff. And there you go. You've got to be confident you're going to win if you're going to wear an outfit like that, don't you?
Lachlan Epps doesn't want for confidence, and there we go. He's down there. He's going to knight Ben Baker, is he now? With his, good to see the toga making an appearance. Haven't seen a toga for quite a while, Steve Martin. And there he is.
Not since 1990 was the last time I saw one of them.
So Ben Baker takes the championship. Congratulations to him and the team. Second championship wrapped up for him this weekend. Of course, took the R3 Cup championship earlier on today. And now he's the Supersport 300 King of 2021. Archie McDonald takes the race win, his third of the weekend. 0.077 of a second ahead of Glenn Nelson. Tom Drain takes a podium, his first of the weekend. Angus Grenfell in fourth. Ben Baker, the champion, is in fifth position in his final race in the class before he moves up to Supersport next year. James Jacobs, his best result in sixth. Mitch Simpson in seventh. Cameron Dunker in eighth. Brandon Demery in ninth. And Reece Orchard rounds out the top 10 and will finish second in the championship.
Yeah, no, that was a really fantastic result for Reece Orchard there to do that. And 11th was Faris Fleming. Teo Aksu was 12th. Joe Marinello rounded out 13th. Sam Pizzetta was 14th. And 15th was Lucas Quinn.
Ben Baker, my friend, what is going on around this neck of yours? And congratulations.
Non-stop hard work. Just thanks to Greg again. Can't thank Janice Winton, Stuart Winton, YRD enough. Yamaha, Shoei Helmets, Alpine Star, SCK Excavations, U-Tech, Anthony Marinello, Joe, the whole Marinello clan, Mum, Dad, West Sliders, Sydney Dyno once again. A lot of effort's going in to take the double championship, and I'm happy to be the first one to ever do it. So just thanks to everyone.
Congratulations, mate. But can we talk about what's going on here?
This here is the king of salami, Anthony Marinello's homemade salami. And I always beg him for it. So he said if I win the championship, he'll give me salami. So we got it.
Fantastic. That is brilliant. A big congratulations to you, Ben. Well done.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to take on number 3 for the Dunlop Supersport 300, Tom Drain. Now, you are proving fast in a few categories, aren't you?
Yeah, with both R3 Cup and Supersport, I've been having fun in both of them and doing my best.
Yeah, you're Australia's best dirt tracker too.
Yeah, I've won a couple of Australian titles in dirt track, and it's one of my favourite things to do as well.
Yeah, well done. Congratulations. You worked hard out there, and it's great to see you fast on track. And in P2, Glenn Nelson, we're becoming very good friends up here. Well done. Another podium for you, my friend.
This one was a lot closer than the other ones. Like, it was a slower race, but there was more people around me. But it's good to get second, though.
Yeah, congratulations. Really good work and a great way to end the year. And Archie McDonald, my gosh, what a wild way to end the year. That's 3 from 3. I tell you what, you are out there, you're working hard, and yeah, you put in the hard yards over the off-season.
Yeah, I had a broken leg to start of the year, and it put me off a bit, but I'm fully recovered now. And yeah, I can agree on Glenn with that. There was a it was a slow race, but, you know, it was a lot of battling out there. But, yeah, congrats to Benny again. And I hope Zach's all right. But, yeah, I just couldn't thank KYT Helmets enough and Grundy Leathers, Pirelli tyres, ASBK for putting on the round. You know, just Pro GP for watching me overseas, and I just couldn't thank everyone enough.
Well done, Archie. Congratulations, boys. Really good effort, and a big well done to Ben Baker for taking out the championship. And I'm going to throw it back to you boys in the commentary box.
Thanks, KP. Great to hear from our champion and our top three. Final championship points with Ben Baker on 171. And as we said, Reece Orchard has moved up into second place in the championship when Zach Johnson went down. 143 for Reece Orchard, 134 for Zach Johnson. Cameron Dunker in his first year up into fourth place in the championship on 127. Archie McDonald, despite missing a round, finishes in fifth. The most experienced rider in the field, Brendan Demery, rounds out that top six with Tom Drain, Glenn Nelson, Angus Grenfell and Joe Marinello rounding out the top 10. Well, plenty more to come here from the Bend Motorsport Park after this short break. Welcome back to the Bend Motorsport Park, the final round of the 2021 My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championships presented by Motul. One race left on today's program, and it is the final race for the Yamaha R3 Cup. And Yamaha Finance have done a great job to support this category this year. And Ben Baker has been crowned champion already. So, Braxy, I think it's going to be a whole lot of people that just want to end the season on a high here in this last race of the season. It is over 6 laps. It will be 6 very exciting laps. And Carter Thompson won't be starting from pole position because he had a crash earlier on and has gone to get all of those injuries checked out. So Archie McDonald will be on the front row of the grid along with Glenn Nelson.
Yeah, and those two have been swapping the wins and splitting the wins during the course of the weekend as well, with Glenn Nelson going oh so close yesterday in that race, but to miss out by, what, I think that was 0.01 of a second as well, as he took the long way to get to the finish line and allowed Archie McDonald to get through. As we go through the starting grid, as Phil said, Carter's not there, but on the second row we've got Benny Baker, the new champion, Tom Drain and Cameron Dunker. Then on row 3, we've got Brendan Demery, Angus Grenfell and Forrest Fleming.
So red flag leaves the front of the grid. Yamaha Finance R3 Cup. R3 Cup is go. Good start from Tom Drain on the second row of the grid too. He got a cracking start, Braxy, on board bike number 52, the red machine, as they make their way down towards turn 1 for the first time and pulling up into the lead as they come over the top of the crest is the champion, Benny Baker. Surprised he's not running number 1. Got a couple down. That looks like one of the GTR Motorstars Martinis. That may be Cameron Dunker on board bike number 3. We've got Tom Drain on 59, is off the circuit as well.
Yeah, there are too many bikes on too smaller bit of real estate there.
Just having a look at it, I think it is Cameron Dunker on board bike number 3 that's gone down. It was the traditional white helmet that gave it away. And unfortunately, he's walking away. He's had a fantastic year and he's had a good weekend this weekend as well, but unfortunately, his last race ends in the gravel trap.
And it must have been my mocker that put him on him as the red flag comes out. As soon as I said that Glenn Nelson could move into second position because he was only 13 points adrift. And that happens. So that's an unfortunate way to start proceedings in the final race of the 2021 season.
So riders will come back and take up their positions on the grid. Hopefully we'll be able to get underway very, very quickly because they didn't look like there was too much damage over there. And Cameron Dunker's picking up the pieces of his motorcycle before he drops into the race-safe car. There we go. There's a replay of the start, courtesy of AMX Superstores, as the field made their way down towards turn 1. You can see them all funnel over to the right-hand side of the circuit. It was a pretty good start for Cameron Dunker. You can see him there on board bike number 3. He's coming up the inside to try and get the run through there. Tried to outbrake Varis Fleming on board bike number 35. Pushed Varis Fleming into Tom Drain. Unfortunately, Cameron Dunker went down in that incident.
So rather fortunate there was only one that hit the deck there because the other 2 riders managed to pick themselves up and run off the track, and Cameron managing to slide out of the way of the oncoming vehicles, which is a very fortunate thing to happen as they come back onto the grid for the restart.
R3 Cup ready to go. R3 Cup is go. It wasn't the best start there for Archie McDonald on board bike number 69. Looked like he got a little bit of a wheel stand as he tried to get off the line. Tom Drain's come past and he leads them down towards the hump. As they come up over the hill, though, it is Benny Baker that looks like he might lead them in towards turn 1. Coming up the inside is Varis Fleming, though. He's got a big move on the brakes. Tries to go up the inside. We nearly had a repeat of the incident that we had before too, Braxy, but they've all managed to make it through there safely. And that was a very close run affair.
And Benny Baker had a clear run in front of him with the absence of Carter Thompson there in front of him. So he got a good drive and wants to go out a winner this time. He's got nothing to lose now. He's got the trophy safely in his keeping.
Well, and also too, Ben Baker would have to be one of the tallest riders in this field, which is certainly not going to be helping for aerodynamics, but that's the reason why he's stepping up to Supersport next year.
Yeah, under the guidance of Greg Eppes, which is going to be interesting to see.
So it is Baker leading from Drain. Varis Fleming still holding down third place with Glenn Nelson right behind. Then it's Archie McDonald. Mitchell Simpson up to position number 6 is that on board bike number 66. That's probably his best position for the weekend.
And while we're talking about guys being strong in the championship, we've got to dip our lid to Archie McDonald, who missed an entire round in the opening round of the year at Whitten, but he's managed to fight through and he's now in a pretty strong position up in the top 5 in the championship.
Oh, down the inside. I think that was that man that you was talking about, Archie McDonald, coming through, and also Angus Grenfell as well, who missed the first round of the championship. I think they both had broken legs, didn't they, at the same time, Archie and Angus?
Not through the same incident.
Not through the same incident, but yeah, disappointing to see two of the real fast front runners in this championship miss out on that first round. They've both done a pretty good job in the round since then, though. Not doing as good a job as this man here, Ben Baker, because he is leading the final race of the year and he wants to go out not only as the champion, but also the last race winner.
Exactly, and we should say tally-ho to Archie McDonald and Angus Grenfell, because they'll be heading overseas as well next year with a few others. So they're doing the graduation into the different championships scattered around the planet. But look at this lead that both Baker and Drain have set up in this opening lap.
0.5 in the second back to Tom Drain in second, but then 1.2 seconds back to Glenn
who's
Nelson
running
in
it
third.
wide there? Was that Varis Fleming on the Moto Go machine?
It was. He was Moto going right off the circuit, unfortunately, for Varis Fleming. A strong start, but that has put him out of the equation or in the fight for the podium too, I'd say.
Coming around the outside, that was Angus Grenfell having a look at Archie McDonald. And bear in mind too, a lot of these kids have been racing against each other for a number of years on the dirt tracks of Australia.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And it's also good to see that the rich vein of talent runs very deep in the Simpson family, with Ollie's younger brothers, Mitchell and Jordan, doing a good job here this weekend as well. Unfortunately, Ollie, he's had a few bike problems this weekend, which saw him not taking part in today's action. Yeah,
he's been turned into the spanner man and refueler, helping these brothers get out on track. And Ollie's always got a big smile. They've all got smiles on their faces every time you see them. It's Glenn Nelson leading Archie McDonald as our leaders go. Benny Baker, well, he's won the championship and he's going to show people why he's won the championship in style by trying to clear out from this race at 2:09.107 in the first flying lap, which is about 0.2 of a second off the record he set earlier this morning.
Down into turn 1, big charging move there on the straight has seen Angus Grenfell move up into third position, use the slipstream, and then a strong effort on the brakes down in towards turn 1. He's proven that he's got plenty of pace, Angus Grenfell, but his results so far this weekend haven't shown how much pace he's actually got, especially that wild last 2 laps from yesterday's race, where he ran off the track, made a season's worth of overtakes, and eventually finished in 6th position.
Yeah, came back with a bit of a flower arrangement scattered over the bike, according to his father.
Look at them, 3 abreast through Alpine Stars corner. Mitch Simpson doing a good job to hang on to the back of this group as well.
And Marcus Hamod has ended the pits after, well, hasn't been the best finish of the season for him after crashing out of the Oceania Junior Cup and also being forced to enter the pits on his final race of the year.
Oh, was that Angus Grenfell nearly ran off the circuit there. It was very wide and just a puff of dust came up as he managed to get the bike back on track.
I thought he would have had enough of the dirt this weekend.
Well, obviously not, because he was just heading there, but did a good job to keep it on 2 wheels and not onto the grass. But unfortunately, it's been a very boring final race for Ben Baker because he's just cleared out and hasn't done the fastest lap of the race, though. The fastest lap of the race, Brax, he goes to young Teo Aksu with a 2:09.028.
That's not even a tenth of a second outside the newly established lap record. But Cameron, Archie McDonald up the inside of Tom Drain to move into third position. And Glenn Nelson there in second has a bit of a slide coming out of turn 8. And we'll see. Tom Drain returns the favour going up this short straight into the Dunlop turn, which brings him back over the hill.
Well, Tom Drain being a dirt tracker doesn't mind the bike moving around. I think he's from Parks, isn't he, or Forbes in Western New South Wales.
Yeah, Daniel Hicks is his mentor, a very good dirt tracker, and Tom Drain, an ex-AMA dirt track champion over in America as well. Yeah,
as well as being Australian champion. So he's got plenty of titles to his belt. There'll be a few trophies in that household, with his brother being pretty proficient as well as Archie McDonald. How was the front end bouncing? It looked like a pogo stick bouncing around.
It's been bouncing through there every time, in every race, so he's definitely not worried about it. They haven't bothered changing anything on it.
So given the suspension and the tyres a bit of a workout as he goes right over to the right-hand side of the circuit again as they head on to the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance start-finish straight. 4 laps down. We're on lap 5 now of the 6-lap journey. Benny Baker has got a very handy 3.9 second lead over Archie McDonald in second place, but that's very short-lived, is it? No! He manages to hold off Glenn Nelson, who was charging hard on the brakes for that position there, and bike number 91, Teo Aksu, has just come from absolutely nowhere with the fastest lap of the race so far to move up into 4th position on board bike number 91. It's the first time we've seen him at the front of this field.
Yeah, he's ever improving. I remember seeing him when he had his first race in 2016 at Broadford, and he was, he's remarkable. Just what the tenacity and determination of these kids done and how much he's improved in those years. So now, you could almost say that look out for him next year because he should be a regular front runner. As up the inside, we have a look as who's that moving up the inside there? Was that Demery? No. Having a look as they come into the Alpine Star turn for the second last time for 2021.
I think that's bike number 25, Brody Gorewith, that just went up the inside.
And down the inside of Varis Fleming just there. Pardon me, that's the battle for 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th.
Man, it was good to see young Sam Pizzetta, the South Australian, the junior partner in the Unitech racing team in that battle as well, after his strong performance last weekend at the South Australian titles over there on the East Circuit, as you mentioned, dealing with 3 kilometres and 400 corners in short order. So it is Glenn Nelson on 39 that has moved now up into second position ahead of Archie McDonald, Teo Aksu in 4th, Tom Drain, that's the red bike on the back of that 4-bike lead group there. No, Brandon Demery and Angus Grenfell are in there as well. They were partly obscured by those riders as they came across the top of the hill. 3 abreast into My Bike Motorcycle Insurance corner, does not go, Braxy, and someone had to give way there. Unfortunately, it was Teo Aksu that lost all the drive out of the corner, and Tom Drain has now gone up into second position.
One thing's for sure, he's not going to stay there for too long on this drag down this My Bike Insurance front straight here at Tailem Bend.
Archie doesn't like using the slipstream, does he? He always seems to pull away to the side of the riders when they come out onto the other start-finish straight. He's pulled back into the slipstream now from Glenn Nelson as they all fan out across the circuit. Look who's charging up the inside. It's Brandon Demery on board bike number 11.
Yes. He's going out. Well, he'll be heading to England next year to look after a couple of riders over there as well. So this is the last time we're going to see the guy from Wagga Wagga here in the Australian Championship for some time.
Well, not only does he ride the bikes, but he prepares all his own bikes and everything as well. So he'll be a loss to the championship because he has mentored a couple of other young riders through over the years as well.
Yep, he is a very passionate rider, and he's he's had some rather challenging times as well. If we go back to about 2017 at Phillip Island, but put all that behind him. There's Ben Baker now, that lead of 6.4 seconds. It's basically a second a lap over the 5 laps as the last lap board has been displayed. So they're on halfway through their final time around the Tail and Bend circuit for 2021.
6.8 seconds is the current lead for Ben Baker. That's outrageous in this class. He has completely demolished them. And considering what it was like earlier on the weekend, where he was back in this pack and he was battling to try and get the championship won.
But remember when he did a lap time up to the end of Friday, that was 2 seconds in front of everybody else as well.
And that's exactly what he's done here, all except for that lap from Teo Aksu, still the fastest lap of the race, the 209.028. But unfortunately, Teo's now dropped back to a 6th position. But it's no one to challenge this man. Our champion for 2021 in the Yamaha Finance R3 Cup takes the win. Ben Baker on board bike number 72. The rest of the field will be coming out of the final corner now, charging towards the line. They're all over the place. It is Archie McDonald that leads them out of the corner, but when they get to the line, I think it's Tom Drain. No, it's Archie McDonald that manages to just hang on by, less than 1/10 of a second over Glenn Nelson. Tom Drain in 4th place. So Glenn Nelson, a pretty good podium record for him this weekend. A couple of wins, a couple of podiums, and wearing the Jack Miller AGV helmet in front of his hero, Jack Miller, here this weekend.
0.111 of a second. But Benny Baker, pretty proud moment for me because he came through the juniors with us and moved on and moving up to Supersport next year, which I reckon he's going to give a few of those boys a bit of a hurry up.
Yeah, Ben Baker takes the win by 6.9 seconds over Archie McDonald and Glenn Nelson. Tom Drain in 4th, Angus Grenfell in 5th place, Teo Aksu in 6th, Brandon Demery in 7th, Varis Fleming in 8th. Sam Pizzetta got up to 9th place, the local boy. Good work from Sam, and Brody Gorwitz rounds out the top 10.
And then we've got Lucas Quinn in 11th, Henry Schnell, Mitch Simpson, Jordan Simpson, his brother, and rounding out the point scores, Matthew Rindell, Jay Russo, Jack Bell, Jamie Ford, and Cooper Roundtree taking the sole point for 20th position.
Let's go down to the podium with KP, who's there in the AMX podium with our top 3 for the Yamaha Finance R3 Cup.
Yes, indeed, and we have Glenn Nelson. Glenn, come on up. My gosh, what a way to end the year. It's great for us to go racing, but you've worked really hard and had multiple podiums this weekend. You must be exhausted.
Yeah, I'm a bit tired, you know. I've had a pretty rough year, so to come out this weekend and do pretty good, it's been good for me.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations, and you get to go and enjoy Christmas now.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Woohoo! Archie McDonald, you again, my friend. What a way to end this year, because you're heading overseas next year, aren't you?
Yes, indeed.
Tell me more.
Pro GP's lined me up for a ride overseas in the Blue Crew European Talent Cup on the R3, and I couldn't be more excited. Glad to get 2 round wins for them this weekend to really show them what I can do next year.
Exactly. You proved your spot, I think, and you can go into the summer holidays with a really good positive outcome. So well done, Archie. Thank you. And Ben Baker, this is just your permanent home as well, right? Congratulations, P1.
Yeah, thanks. It was awesome to not have to stress about championships or anything. I just went out and rode my own race. I can't thank everyone enough for running the event during COVID. Thanks to Yamaha, YRD, Maxima Oils. We made a change in suspension for the last race of the day, and the Bi-Turbo was just on rails. So thanks to them. Shoei Helmets, Alpine Star, Sydney Dyno, West Sliders. I probably forgot a lot, but thanks everyone. You know who you are, and I can't wait to jump on the 600 Team 83 next year.
Excellent stuff. Well, good luck next year, Ben. We'll be cheering for you, and really well done.
Thank you.
Wowee. So that wraps a really, really massive weekend of racing for the 2021 My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championship. We have seen it all, but it's great to end on a high, and thank you for having me on board to host the coverage this year. I cannot wait to maybe join you again next year, but either way, we're going to go racing, and I cannot wait. So we'll see you next time. Have a great Christmas.